AvantStay, we are one of the premier luxury property managers in the United States. We have around 2,000 assets that we manage across many different markets throughout the United States. You'll find us on Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, all the major online travel agency sites. And so my role at AvantStay as Senior Manager of Onboarding and Supply Chain centers around two main areas: supply chain management and onboarding operations. So for supply chain management, I oversee end-to-end procurement process for a range of essential items, including linens, consumable goods, furniture, technology, anything you would really find in a home or a vacation rental, we buy, right? So we work to ensure that we have the right items in the right places at the right time to maintain a seamless guest experience. And then on the onboarding side, my team manages the complete process from when a new homeowner signs with AvantStay to when their property is live and on our site and all of our OTA platforms. So we focus on creating a positive owner experience by streamlining this journey within our timelines and budget constraints. So together, these responsibilities help us create efficient, scalable systems that support AvantStay's broader growth. What stood out initially was the robust reporting capabilities. In the Insights tab, it really allows us to filter and analyze data efficiently. And exporting the raw data is really easy as well. So enabling us to customize, any reports that aren't, already canned on the site. And I think the user interface is pretty friendly. And navigation is intuitive, which streamlines our daily workflows. So, and then lastly, the customization aspect of working together with your team and our team has been really important on the sort of the journey that AvantStay has had. Order.co has tailored solutions specifically for some of our requirements, like integrating with our financial systems. We have different processes around creating new locations, adding new products, product lists. So, these things that we've worked on with you guys over the past couple of years have really made it easy on the team. We use NetSuite as our primary, financial system. So basically, we have our different general ledger codes that are embedded into our order.com tool. And so when users are going into the tool and making orders, they're also selecting, which general ledger account this needs to be billed to, which location this needs to be billed to. So that really, just flows directly into NetSuite. So it takes out additional checking and reporting that we used to do of like getting reports from order and then sort of importing them into the tool. So now it's kind of all a seamless process. What I appreciate is Order.co's simplicity and like the user-friendly design. It's much easier to learn and train on than compared to some of the other tools I've used. And in turn, that makes it easier to get new members up to speed faster, makes the onboarding and training smoother, more efficient, so they can, start providing value quicker. I think like some of the other tools that I've used they're so large, big, there's so many different options available, and it can be overwhelming at times. And I don't feel that with Order.co. The reporting is pretty valuable, and just once you kind of get the hang of it, it's very quick and easy to do, and exporting stuff directly to Excel, and it doesn't take much time. And then the organization management, I think is a plus. Like it's very easy to add, update users, locations, addresses. So when things change within our organization, it's it doesn't take a whole lot of time or support to make those updates. And then, the biggest thing I think is the ability to be customized to meet the specific needs of our business. In particular, like I remember when we were setting up all of our homes as locations so that, we can select them when ordering, and this syncs with our ERP system for GL efficiencies. So those are like probably the top three things I would say. Having the support of the order.co team, is pretty helpful always, but, especially during peak seasons. Some of the things that you guys help us with are, post-order support, around tracking, and if we need to return items or there's a discrepancy around something we didn't receive, something that we ordered. It helps save our team time to kind of track down those vendors and those issues and that sort of thing. And then additionally, like, sourcing replacements and substitutions, that save the company time and money. When peak season, there might be low inventory with our standard vendors, and order.co, might have different suggestions elsewhere. So it's really like having that team and those resources of people that kind of help do some of the dirty work for us. We've now basically we're at like 99% of all of our direct spend is going through order.com. And this, it allows us better to track and manage the orders, having sort of a centralized place to look at all that. And, we are building trust by vendors by ensuring timely, consistent transactions. And I think the biggest win for us is we can place a single order in order.com that might have multiple different vendors on that order. And in the past that could have been 4 or 5 different individual orders. Is now we're doing it once instead of 4 or 5 times. So, saving time that way and having a place where all the information lives is very helpful. It's freed up a significant amount of time, especially when it comes to those, multi-vendor orders that I just mentioned. So, once we place the order, it's order.co really manages the rest, coordinating with each vendor on our behalf. And this just enables the team to redirect their focus towards strategic planning, cost management, and spending more time on value-added services instead of placing orders. So I think it's just overall just boosted efficiency, in our procurement org, and having us focus on more strategic tasks rather than just placing orders. It's really easy to review our overall spend, and then we can sort of filter and drill down to different segments that we need to, whether that's by market or whether that's by product category, by vendor. There's many different views that we can look that help us get data to make better decisions. A big focus of AvantStay is growing, and the way that we've configured the platform is it's able to easily accommodate new markets, new locations, new products, new users, which just allows us to expand without major reconfiguration or setup delays. So again, it kind of goes back to the flexibility means our team can really concentrate on higher value activities within the platform rather than spending excessive time on admin tasks. So the efficiency and scalability align well with our growth plans, helping us to maintain momentum as we expand into new areas while keeping operations streamlined and effective. So really, I think the way that we've set up the system, it's able to help us grow and spend less time, on admin tasks and more time on value add services. Things like sourcing and price negotiation and things like that we're we're trying to bring our costs down as much as we can, which in turn, helps AvantStay, but it also supports, our owners and their guests as well, in the price that they're paying for things. So it's all kind of wrapped into that experience. We've really stepped up our game with the product lists, I would say. And where I find it the most helpful in our business is there's a lot of variation between different markets. So in the sense, like, some products that we use out in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, it might not be readily available than in San Diego, California. So, having different lists of different products by, potentially by market or by region is very helpful. In addition, I think another thing that we've done is having different product lists by level of quality, right? And we have specific product lists that might be a higher tier worth of product that we only use for some of our, estates or our very, very premium assets, rather than sort of our standard products that we use in other homes. So a good way to just kind of differentiate and an easy way to like navigate is like, okay, these are the products for this market, or these are the products for these specific homes, or these are the products from this specific vendor. So we spend less time sort of, searching for those items, and when it's recurring, month over month and week over week, it just, you're saving a lot of time. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of different SKUs on the platform, right? So, if you're a new user or you're trying to search for all these products, individually, it can get I could see it becoming kind of difficult. So having the product lists organized in a way and people trained on where they are, what they mean, what to go look for, I think it just really saves time at the end of the day. If we don't have a lot of storage areas, or maybe the home is pretty remote and we store things at the home. So in general, this storage strategy by home or by market, it affects the procurement strategy, because then it's like, if we don't, then we're doing a lot of just-in-time procurement, and maybe that we have to place more orders more frequently in places where, maybe if we have, more storage in a specific location, then we have, maybe a different inventory strategy. So that is always kind of something to navigate for us. And, there's things that we use that, we use every time a guest stays, right? Like, shampoo, body wash, trash bags, olive oil, things like that we call consumables, where, guests are consuming these every single stay that they have. So we are constantly replenishing these items, every day, essentially. So that's one sort of nuanced thing that we deal with from all of our different markets, because it's very different when you go different places. How urban is it? How remote is it? Can a truck get there, sort of thing? Like, you get into a lot of these, logistical details. Right? I use a lot like spend by vendor, which is very kind of typical to kind of like track around, like, how are we trending, and then I use the raw data a lot, and then we go into, product categories, and, looking at things like consumables and linens and different technology, different things like that. And as we're growing, what does that mean for our spend, right? And, as our purchasing power is becoming greater and greater. So taking a look at that stuff, like, and trends year over year, that's what I think. But yeah, I think, month over month spending by vendor, by product category, those are probably the top ones that we look at.